You're live. Looking live here at the Acapulco Restaurant for episode number 8 of the Full Court Press. We're joined tonight, Rick Barker as a co-host. We got defensive coordinator for Morgan County football, longtime educator, great friend, athletic director, girls basketball coach, Jeff Brown of Morgan County Cougars. Jeff, welcome. First time on the show, man.
First time, and it's great. I've been trying to get in line so I could be on the show.
That's right.
I bet you
Worked through his
didn't think he
agent.
was going to ask you, did you?
I was scared he was.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, we were joking because we kind of advertised this show with Coach Easterling also,
Right,
but he had a prior commitment, couldn't do it. So we were joking that Jeff really just wanted all the showcase and
Right.
spotlight on him tonight. So it's all you. We've got a whole lot to talk about. I want to adjust something real quick before we go, make sure we can see everything here.
He needs to hire a cameraman, doesn't he?
Yeah, I need to hire a
Yeah,
camera.
there you go.
I think I'm just making sure that Jeff is front and center there.
Of course.
He's looking all good, and we don't need a booster seat or anything for him. But like I said, there's a whole lot to talk about with Coach Jeff Brown, and we can talk early playing days. Rick, you probably called a lot of the games of football when Jeff was here
Yeah.
as a student. He transferred over, I think, from Wolf County in high school to play high school football for Coach Bruce Herdman, class of 1988. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And that's back in the days when the football team wore the mesh jerseys,
Yeah.
right? And they were like white, gray, and you had the Cougar script white helmets or whatever. Let's just go ahead right there and talk about what it was like establishing yourself as a player for Morgan County football and basketball.
Well, I mean, back whenever I first transferred over, I hadn't played a lot of football. Hadn't played any football, as a matter of fact.
Right.
And my brother, Gary, who was the team chaplain and was Broadway First Church of God,
Right.
and he's like, you need to play football. I was like, I don't know. But anyway, I did transfer over to play football, and it probably was the greatest decision that I've ever made in my entire life, was playing for Coach Herdman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't even begin to explain to anybody how much that man meant to me and how hard he drove us and how tough he was on us. Of course, that was in a different day than the time.
He probably had reason to be tough on you guys. If you want to tell who some of the players you played with on that team, right? There's probably a good reason for Coach Herdman to be tough on that class of '88 team, right? In '87.
Oh Lord, oh my God, Lord, I thought about this. I swear, I thought about this the other day. The number of really good football players that we had on that team, and some of them are no longer with us, unfortunately. But oh my gosh, that team was so unreal, and it got off to a bad start.
Right.
Got off to a bad start that year. But then the Wattsburg game, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Wattsburg game.
Was that the overtime? Was that the flood game?
No, that was the game that
You were 0-4,
it was 0-4.
and they were 4-0.
They were 4-0. Of course, that was back when there were only the first two teams, the top seed and the second seed, went to the playoffs. That was when we was late getting there, changed on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. But I mean, oh my goodness sakes. Mike Howard, Jerry Hopkins, Scott Brown, Teddy Bear, Sammy, Mike Howard, Reggie Easterling. I mean, the list, John Collins.
John Alden,
John
center,
Alden.
number
He was-
51.
Yeah, he was our center.
Mark Holbrook.
Mark Holbrook, Patrick O'Master, myself, of course, Darren Finch. I mean, I could go on, and I apologize if I'm leaving somebody out. But that was one of the better teams that's come through Morgan County.
That probably don't get the credit it deserves.
Exactly. But because we started off 0-4.
Right.
And I'll never forget, we lost 9-7 to Breathitt County, 26-23 to Lewis County. Bath County beat us by 3 or 4. I can't remember for sure. Now, Round County took care of us that year. Yeah. But, yeah.
Then you got hot.
Then we got hot. Sure did.
Now you named some teams back in the day that were tough. Breathitt County back to back district champs, went to the state back to back, won the state back to
In
back.
95, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got Lewis County. They were the talk of the town along with Fleming County back in that day.
That's back when our district was, I don't know, our
Yeah.
district was also, it had fluctuated back. Sometimes we played teams in the southeast part of the
Yeah.
state, then a few times it would switch to where you go up there and play Russell, Lewis, or whatever, and we were always back and forth out of those districts.
Yeah.
But back then, what people don't realize was you had to earn your way to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Now it's the top 4 teams. Back then,
Yeah.
it was top 2. And if you think about the 1983 team,
Right.
the best team probably in school history was 8-2 and was shut out of the playoffs because it was a 3-team district, and
Yeah.
they had to win that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Back when I played, there was only 2 teams that went, first and second, and Mount Sterling beat us on the last second field goal.
I've heard that
So,
story.
so
And they were ranked, I believe.
yeah, Hawkins, who played for University of Kentucky, is the one that kicked it. 40-yard field goal. I mean, no, you didn't hear that back in the day.
Especially in high school.
You know what I'm saying? And Coach Reed was our coach, and he kept saying, man, they're going to take it around the end. They're going to take it around the end. Well, no, right through the goalpost, right?
So tell me a little bit. You come here, played football, also played basketball for Coach Bellamy, but could you say that a lot of those experiences that you had as a player shaped you to help guide you into your career as an educator and as a coach at Menifee County and also at Morgan County? Talk about how you kind of got into that, and also your stint, you was in the Marines, I believe.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, after I got out of the Marine Corps, of course, from 90 to 94, and whenever I got out, my brother, Larry, was actually the middle school head basketball coach.
Right.
And he said, you need to come help me. And I'm like, time and just going to school and all that stuff. And finally I agreed, and I started helping him. And of course, I played basketball and was in love with basketball. Of course, I was in love with football too. But I knew more about basketball, So I started coaching under him, if you will, middle school basketball. And man, I just fell in love with it. Just fell in love with it. And I always, of course, once again, here we go, Coach Herman. I will never be able to say enough good words about what that man meant to me and what he did for me to make me into a man.
Right.
He was tough, but you knew, and this is an important part too, for all coaches out there. I ain't trying to tell anybody what to do, but it's very important, and I always felt this way with Coach Herman, that no matter how hard he was on you, you knew he loved you.
100%.
Oh yeah.
100%. And I can tell a real quick story.
We're going to tell a lot of stories, so tell all of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
Real quick story. I hurt my back in a game, and it was towards the end of the season. Of course, we actually had qualified for playoffs. This is don't lie, by the way. But anyway, he said, well, you need to go talk to Dr. Bellamy. Or, no, excuse me, Dr. Frederick. So he sends me to Dr. Frederick because I got something wrong with my back. So I go to Dr. Frederick, and Dr. Frederick tells me, he said, you don't need to play Friday night.
Oh.
You don't need to play. Yes, sir. So I come back to school, walk into the office, and I tell Coach Herman, oh, he said I was fine. He said I was good to go.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I can play. So it goes on, because I wanted to play.
You're lying.
Exactly. So it goes on, and this was on Thursday. And he said, he called me up to the office like 6th period or something like that. And he said, you lied to me. What, sir?
Now you've done it with Coach Herman.
Oh, I did, yeah. But I had told him that Dr. Frederick had told me I was fine when I really wasn't, because I wanted to play so bad. And he said, you lied to me. You owe me. I'm going to let you play. but you owe me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he collected. But I got to play on Friday night.
You know why? Because he's probably wanting to win the football game.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a coach tell me once, it was Bruce Macklin, you know, the all-time winningest coach at one time at Gaffney High School in South Carolina before I think somebody eclipsed that a few years, maybe a decade or so ago. Bruce had told me that, you know what? He said, when I had a discipline issue, he said, I disciplined him in practice. He said, I didn't set him out of games. He said, hell, man, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win this game.
Exactly.
So, you know, he was like, the point was, I really discipline my kids, but you think I'm going to set them out of the ball game? No, I'm trying to win, man. So I thought that was interesting. Of course, I was kind of young when he told me that. But, you know, we all have coaches in our life that shaped us.
Oh,
you did,
definitely,
Rick.
definitely.
You did.
Yeah.
I did as well.
Yeah.
That shape you into the career path that
Right.
you choose. And for
Exactly.
Jeff and I, we're at the tail end of our careers. I'm retiring in May. You're there too, I believe. And but a lot of our career has been centered around sports and athletics and coaching. And everything that I know, everything that Jeff knows, too, we can attest to, come from other people and people that really help shape us
Right.
into what we would become and try to, you know, portray to the young people out there and do things the right way or first class.
You know, back in the day when I played, it was discipline.
Right.
I learned discipline. I mean, mom and dad taught me discipline as well, but I earned respect. I earned what it means to have a teammate. You know, to go above and beyond
Sacrifice.
for somebody for somebody other than me. You know, and you know, fourth and long, and young people, you're going to see a lot of fourth and long in your life.
In all of our lives, right?
You know, I mean, you just got to fight through it. I mean, it taught me how to handle adversity in the real world. Sports. Football is the only thing I played. I was too fat and slow for basketball and baseball. I did wrestle. We had a wrestling team.
You had a wrestling team at Morgan County?
We had a wrestling team.
Wow. Who coached that?
Sophomore and junior, Ed Zaremba.
Ed Zaremba.
Ed Zaremba.
The UK football player
Yeah.
that came and coached with Marty Joyce.
Yes,
They
yes.
were co-coaches?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You didn't know that, did you?
I had no
They were
clue.
co-coaches.
Yeah,
Tell me
they
a little
were.
bit about
They
that.
were.
Yeah.
Coach Joyce came here. I think they came my freshman year, maybe. Yeah, freshman year, and Coach Joyce left my sophomore year, and that left Coach Zaremba my. Let's see. No, I've got this backwards. Anyway, I played 2 years for Coach Zaremba. He was head coach for a couple of years, and he left going into my junior year. John Reed came my junior year. I played
Right.
junior and senior year for John Reed. But anyway, yeah, they were UK, 100%. Go Big Blue. And they were tough. I mean, you talk about tough. But I don't know, they didn't seem to give us the respect
Right.
for us to get it back. So there was a lot of, you know, there was no team really. And we had Johnny Tate. Y'all know Johnny Tate?
Yeah, absolutely.
He run fullback when he wasn't in jail back then. But
I'm sure he's watching that.
oh, I'm sure he is. Donnie Dye,
Yeah.
Gary Dye. Let me see if I can remember some. And then me, Wingo, Reisner. You know, the younger crew was on that team. We come on up. But we had a wrestling team. We had no choice but to be on the team. Zaremba said, "If you want to play football, you're going to wrestle. You don't wrestle, you ain't playing football."
I love it.
So we went to Lexington. I got to tell this story, and I know Randy still. He don't mind it. He holds a record at Morgan County for wrestling.
I did not. This is information I have no idea.
Got pinned the fastest in the state of Kentucky.
An all-time record, the fastest.
Oh yeah, to be pinned.
So that was pretty much the end of the career of wrestling in Morgan County High School.
Yeah, I mean, we went 2 years with the wrestling team,
Yeah.
and then Zaremba also was coach track, shot and disc.
Yeah.
So we had no choice. If we were gonna play football, we had to play track. You know, be on the track team as well. So.
Well, that's some information that people probably watching don't know that actually occurred. I didn't know that happened. But Jeff, would you have wrestled if they would have had it in high school?
Absolutely not.
No, you want no part of that.
No, we're no part of it. No, none whatsoever.
Okay, well, Moving on a little bit, Jeff, I want to ask and talk about this. As we go into our careers, one thing I can say about Coach Brown is oftentimes when you coach a sport at the high school level, you have rivals out there in the region, and you coach girls basketball, and you're competitive, and sometimes people don't like you or they don't like your style. There's always somebody that doesn't like a coach for who they are.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say, as I set this up on a team, when Jeff coached girls basketball, when he was the AD, any type of coach that he's been, you will not hear one person in the 16th region to ever say a bad thing about it. And I want to ask him, like, everybody loved Jeff Brown.
Yeah.
And even when he would yell at an official, and I told this story on the last show, I said Davey Anderson was the official, and the gym got quiet, and Dave called a foul on Morgan County, and Jeff screams, "Davey, do you swear to God that was a foul?" And everybody started cracking up. And that's just how Jeff was, and he was so well liked, Jeff. Everybody at every school says, Jeff Brown, first class.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any coach out there that did not like you as an opposing coach? Be honest.
I'm sure there probably was a couple. I mean, I don't
Who
know.
did you make mad? Did you make anybody mad?
I don't know. I think I still owe Raceland for a trash can that I destroyed when I was in Menifee County. I think I still owe Raceland for a trash can. Not really, because the way that I always approached it, and this is no matter what, and coaching girls, coaching boys, whatever the case might be, man, for those 32 minutes, when the ball's tipped off and then the final horn blows, you're my enemy. I'm going to do whatever I possibly can to get you.
Right.
Try to beat you if I can.
Yeah.
But once it's over, literally it's over.
Right.
You shake hands, you move on. And, the thing about it is the people you coach against, you're going to need something from them one of these days.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I always took it upon myself to make sure that, you don't want to make enemies. It's easy enough to make enemies in this world. Make friends. And for those 32 minutes or whatever, it's as hard as you can go. But once it's over with, it's over.
Yeah, and Jeff, even some of my best friends in coaching actually came from when we almost killed each other or hated each other at the beginning.
Yeah.
Didn't like each other. We had some altercations or whatever, and then they would become some of my best friends in coaching. Once you get to know people, and especially off the court, and we used to go to the state tournament. We used to go down and get to know all of our buddies in the Hyatt lobby or the East Carter room. The East Carter room, that's what we call it with Coach Baker, Coach Coons, and all those guys. And you realize that, man, those guys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
We want to kill each other. We're trying to fight tooth and nail. Those people are really cool and good people. And even when we had to fight for our schools, whether it be the coin flip fiasco or whatever, we all understood professionally by then that we got to do what's best for our schools. But you know what? When it's over, we're going to sit down, we're going to have dinner together, and we had a really good time and share some things off each other. And that's been the great thing about coaching for us, was all the relationships that we built and how we built a relationship. I knew him before, but we built a better relationship through coaching.
Absolutely, 100%. Like I said, grew up knowing each other and all that stuff, but we become even closer, actually, as enemies.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to get technical about it.
When you coached at Menifee County, let's tell that story.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
All right, everybody, we're going to tell a really good story of how Coach Brown thought he was going to kill Morgan County at
2004.
Menifee County in 2003.
In 2000.
2004.
All right, Jeff, I'll let you tell the story so you can tell how bad you're going to beat us.
Oh, Lord. So I go down and I scout Morgan County. It's the year they won It's the year they won the regional championship.
Our
by the
best
way.
team. Yeah.
Best team. And I go down and I scout them, and they're playing in Harrison County. And I can't remember who used them.
We played Lloyd
Okay.
at Harrison.
Played Lloyd at Harrison County.
Yeah.
So I go down and I'm scouting the game, and they kicked it, they beat it, they threw it off of everything in that gym. This is no lie. Couldn't make a shot. I
33
mean,
turnovers.
oh, it was 30.
We had 33 turnovers in that
Wow.
scrimmage.
33
Wow.
turnovers in the scrimmage game. So I'm going, wow. And I'm taking notes, here's what they run, here's what they do, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, we have a chance.
Yeah.
We have a chance.
Of course.
Yeah.
First game of the season,
Morgan at Menifee.
Morgan at Menifee. I don't know if we got the ball across half court in the first 4 minutes of the first quarter. That's
Yeah.
I'm serious. And I'll never forget it. I called like 3 timeouts. And my point guard, who wasn't a bad point guard, he's like, Coach, they're everywhere. I think we scored 7 points in
You
the
did.
first half.
7
Wow.
points is what we held you to.
Yeah, 7 points. Yeah. And, by the way, that taught me a valuable lesson.
What's that?
Don't scout scrimmage games.
Don't poke the bear. Yeah, we're like, well, Coach Brown at Menifee County thinks, they got a good shot of beating us over there. Of course, all we knew, Coach Perry's like, man, we
Right.
just turned the ball over 33 times. We turned it over on the bus drive on the way home. We turned it over as soon as we got back in the gym. We turned it over, but he kind of knew too, and we knew that defensively we were really good. We just didn't know how good we
Right.
were yet, but we knew defensively we were pretty good. And we knew in the first 4 minutes of that basketball game that we had something special because your team wasn't bad.
No, we wasn't bad at
You
all.
guys were not bad at all.
We was not bad at all.
But we kicked your rear end.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Like I said, my point guard come over, he's like, Coach, they're everywhere. And they literally was. When I went back and watched the film, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, seriously, because sometimes, you don't really realize until you go back and watch the film. And I'm like, this bunch is special. I swear. This bunch is special.
But hold on a second. Let me get this right. Help me with my memory. We killed you guys over there first game of the year. And it was kind of a little bit more competitive the second time. But when we played in the district tournament, was that whenever you guys had a 2-0 lead because I got us a technical foul and Coach Perry's ready to kill me?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, tell you what, we had 2-0 lead in district tournament.
And that was my fault.
It was his fault. He screwed up. But 2-0 lead, and I'll never forget. I told one of my assistant coaches. Of course, I can tell this now. I was like, "Hey, man, take a picture of the scoreboard." He said, "What?" I said, "Take a picture of the scoreboard." He said, "Why is that?" I said, "Because this is probably the only time all night that we have the lead."
2-0 because of a book technical foul. Blake McCowan's jersey number switched from home and away. We were home. He should have been 30 or 41, and one was 41 or 30. And I took pride in writing the book out for
okay.
Coach Perry, before every game. And my penmanship, my numbers, perfect. I did that stuff at 8 o'clock in the morning the day of the game.
Wow.
And double check, triple check. Yeah, it's good, Coach. Come over there, technical foul, and that's the first game of the district. Well, you know how everybody's tied
yeah,
to drum
yeah.
in the district tournament. Anybody can be beaten.
Records
We're down
don't mean
2-0,
nothing, yeah.
and I'm ready to jump off a cliff
Yeah.
at that point. But thank goodness we prevailed, and the rest was history. But that was a great story.
Yeah, but we had the lead for.
You had the lead for a
We
little
had
bit.
the lead until like the 7:55 mark or something like that.
Jeff, do you have a preference coaching boys or girls?
Honestly, girls.
Okay, really? Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
You don't want to follow that with a
Yeah,
lie.
surprised for that answer.
Yeah.
No, I mean, coaching girls, coaching boys my entire life. I don't know. I don't know if it was just the fact that I started off coaching girls, and as time went on, coaching girls. Of course, I coached 2 years boys at Menifee, and but now as far as coaching basketball, coaching girls, I enjoyed it more.
Okay.
I really and truly did. We had some pretty good girls teams.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did. We had some really good girls.
I remember the night that Brittany Stamper broke the record for most consecutive free throws made in the game. I think she made 16 in a row.
Yep.
That was in Elliott County versus East or West Carter for the district championship.
East Carter.
East Carter,
East
and
Carter.
we won the district.
Yes, we did.
And I'm going to tell you this story. When you won the district that year, our superintendent was Joe Dan Gold. Love Joe Dan Gold. And he called me at school the next day. I was the athletic director. And he said, Chris, what kind of cigarettes does Jeff smoke? And I said, I think he smokes Marlboro Lights in a box, maybe. He said, okay. I'm like, where's he going with this? Superintendent calling me at school. He's asking about cigarettes. And so, for winning the district tournament, he come to school and bought you a whole carton of cigarettes.
Wow.
Is that true?
That's a true story. Oh
That's
gosh,
probably about $10.
What a great
back in the day,
superintendent,
I'm
man.
serious. That was. I was like, whenever he walked in, I was like, okay. I was just kind of like dumbfounded for a second, but yeah, that was him and his great sense of humor and just the man that he was. I mean,
Yeah, because he knew you went out at halftime and smoked cigarettes. I mean, who does that now?
Joe Dan, Ole Miss or Mississippi State?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, yeah.
He was part of the team that snuck out of Mississippi to go play.
He told me that story.
Yeah,
And-
that's a great story.
I used to tell my students, the 8th grade students, that we didn't realize the civil rights movement impact that Joe Dan Gold had.
Oh, yeah.
Because he never told
Yeah.
many people about what he
Right.
did and how they had to sneak out
I've
of the
seen
state of
pictures of
Mississippi.
that,
He was the captain of that Mississippi State team. In 1963, they would play Loyola Chicago.
Yes.
And here's the cool part of that. I had a student that decorated one of the tiles that Malaya would have done in the art class. We collaborated where they would paint
Right.
these tiles, and we had just talked about the significance of the civil rights game between Mississippi State and Loyola Chicago.
Mhm.
And Joe Dan Gold would shake the hands
Right.
with Jerry Harkness,
Mhm.
the MVP of the tournament that year. And they shook hands at center court, and it was a very symbolic moment
Right.
for the United States on just how Mississippi State had to escape out of against the governor's orders to not play against
Yeah.
Loyola, and because it was an all-black team and an all-white team from the SEC. And did you know that Joe Dan Gold and Jerry Harkness became wonderful friends
Yeah.
from that handshake? And whenever I put that on Facebook, that's how I'm still, if Sarah might even be watching this, Sarah Harkness, his wife, and I have become friends
Yeah.
because we shared that. Jerry Harkness wrote me a letter, handwritten
Wow.
letter,
Awesome.
thanking me about that moment and how we put that up into the schools, and we taught our students about the importance of the civil rights movement and
Right.
and what they did, and it was so significant, and how we were able to connect through sports and become friends. And I see her on there all the time. You know, Jerry passed away
Right.
himself a few years back, but you know we stay in touch with Sarah Harkness. What a beautiful family.
You know, I lived in the deep South during that time, and remember it well. Horrible time. The way that one human would treat another human.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, it was just horrible. So much prejudice,
right.
and I guess that's what turns my stomach today to prejudice. You know.
Yeah, and
It
where we
was,
come
it was
from.
horrible. I can remember the blacks would sit in the back of the bus,
Yeah.
the whites in the front. I can remember 2 waiting rooms, colored over one, white over the other, in the doctor's office.
Right.
2 water fountains.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
people don't realize that and how important the civil rights movement was
Right.
for that to happen. Had it not been people for like Dr. King to do
Right.
what he did, but also Jerry Harkness and Joe Dan, and their friendship was
Mm-hmm.
genuine, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And people don't know that Loyola won that first round game. They won the NCAA tournament that year, and Jerry Harkness was named the MVP of the NCAA tournament.
You know,
How
people
special.
that didn't live in the deep South don't know what that means.
Right.
Yeah, they had no clue. I mean, I know what that meant. You know,
Well, I
lived in
thought,
the deep
uh,
South. Yeah.
The leadership skills of Joe Dan Gold, and those moments propelled him into his educational career and being our superintendent. But what a touching story it was.
Oh, yeah.
And people in Morgan County need to realize that's a huge impact that we can hang our hat on, to have somebody of that significance to make such a great change in sports
Oh, yeah.
and in society. One of my favorite stories
Yeah.
of all time is that right there. Jeff, you know, stories like that is what brings people together. Sports brings people together. This football team that you were on this year with Coach Easterling, it brought a community together because all of a sudden you probably have one of your greatest upset wins in the last 30 years of beating West Carter, and you earn a home playoff game at home. The community was so excited. Your players did a great job. Talk a little bit about this season, a little bit about what it meant to you and going forward.
Well, I mean, you know, anytime you're a part of something special, you know, you value it and you protect it as far as, you know, being a coach, being a player, being whatever the case might be. But, you know, this season was somewhat of a, you know, different, so to speak. Back in the district with Breathitt and Jackson County and West Carter, and of course, you know, if you finish 1-2 in the district,
Right.
you host a playoff.
Right.
Okay. You know, you play against your sister district and so on and so forth. And, you know, the season got off to a fairly decent start. And then we hit a little bit of a rough patch there about game 6. And then we kind of righted the ship a little bit. And then we went into the West Carter game.
Nobody gave you a chance.
No.
That's a 40-point loss.
Absolutely, nobody gave us a chance whatsoever, and I've told Polo this many times, and I think I've told you and probably Rick and everybody in the world. That probably was one of the most exciting games that I've ever been a part of as a coach. Number one, and just the execution by the kids down the stretch. And probably, in my estimation, one of the greatest. And I hate to brag on Polo. I really, I really do.
He's watching.
No, if he's not, he'll. Yeah. Anyway, but that probably that fourth quarter. No, the whole game plan going in. We knew what we wanted to do. You know, and you know, just like anything else,
Right.
You go into a game with a game plan. If it works, you're a genius. If it don't work, you're an idiot.
Right.
I mean, let's be
That's
honest.
what the fans think.
Exactly. Exactly.
They love you when you win.
Absolutely. Even though you prepare the same, no matter who you're playing. But that fourth quarter, when we got the ball back with about 11 minutes and something to go, and we're down by one score, and that drive that we had in the fourth quarter might have been probably one of the greatest things that I've been a part of. 10.5-minute drive.
A 10.5-minute
Yeah.
drive.
10.5-minute drive.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and we've talked about, well, if we, you know, fourth down, what we're going to do, and this, that, and the other, and we kind of agreed to the fact that, you know what, we can't let them have the ball back.
No.
No, we cannot let them have the ball back. So
They had a quarterback that's slinging from here to freezer.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hayden Hall.
Hayden Hall, oh yeah, he can throw it all over
That's
the
my
place.
guy, Hayden Hall.
He's good. He's good. But that probably was the greatest offensive execution. And I don't mean no disrespect to Randy, and I mean no disrespect to Coach Herdman or Coach Brian Turner, who's coached
Right.
here, and all three had great success, you know. But as far as a drive is concerned, being a part of it and sitting there listening to what was being called and just the way that we executed probably was the greatest drive offensively that I've ever been a part of. And just to watch the way Polo worked it, you know what I'm saying? Because we make calls, but we also had checks when we got to the line to go opposite of their best defensive players. So he was checking constantly, and it was beautiful, man. I mean, that's
It's execution.
execution, 100%.
That's the first time Polo called me and invited me to be on the sidelines. I didn't make 2 or 3 year games last year, and that's the first time I've been on the sidelines since 1974.
Is that
And I
right?
thought, wow, I missed this. And he also, in his conversation, I always tease him about running the wishbone. And he said, when I go on to heaven, he's going to run the wishbone one play. That's what he always tells me. But anyway, he called me. He said, man, you know what I done? And I said, oh, no, and you ain't going to tell him, bro. He said, I pulled 2 tight ends in. He said, I've got 2 tight ends for the extra block. So I'm going to do a little bit of your wishbone, but I'm not going to go full speed with it. And then he invited me down to the sidelines. It was just awesome.
Well, you know, going into that game, we had been kind of a little bit not spread team, but we was, you know, a little bit spread. And you know, he come up with the idea, and it was genius to bring everybody in tight, because we're going to run it 85% of the time anyways.
Right.
And why not get everybody in tight? And two of our better blockers, I mean, let's be honest, was Alex Lee, who played tight end.
Right.
And of course I call him Ace, but Asa brought him in.
Asa Barron.
Yeah, absolutely. Asa come from Kansas.
Yeah, what a player he was.
Oh, he's
I really liked him.
Absolutely, me too. But brought him in, so you had a little bit more, at the point of attack.
Right.
And that's when we broke out the double tights.
Right.
Right. It was still veer. There were still options and all that
Exactly.
stuff, but just brought everybody in a little bit tighter. And I thought that was one of the more genius things that Polo's done. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even though you're not reinventing the wheel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not reinventing the wheel.
Right.
Because you can run the same play out of 47 different formations.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the way it is. But yeah, bringing those two guys in tight and putting those A-backs, offset them by in between the tight end and the tackle gives you a little bit more, at the point of attack. And I thought that was a big thing for us.
It was
huge.
Out of that tight veer with your two tight ends coming in, it doesn't look like a wishbone, but you can run counters off that. You can run straight dives off that. You can take a step back. And I like to see the quarterback up under. 2 steps back, you got a tight end,
Somebody streaking down the seam of the field or
exactly,
something like that.
yeah.
And that's what, Coach Wood, when he ran the triple option,
Yeah.
they were so good. And you were on staff too.
Yeah.
You guys would throw the football, you would hit the hot route out of that or run the counter option with Andy Lewis or whatever. And that's coaching, man. And I think that has to be one of Morgan County football's better moments in sports, was because you executed. You beat a team that nobody thought you could do it,
Right.
and you did it on your terms, on your home field, and you took a 10.5-minute drive to win a football game that you had no business winning. And Perry Allen, who was calling that game for Spree TV,
With you,
and,
yeah.
I was off that game, and
Oh,
because I was at a wedding, there was the one game I
that's
couldn't.
right.
So I'm watching on YouTube, and I'm trying to text Perry or whatever. But after the game, Perry said that was so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best. Just coaching decisions, and really gave the credit to the leadership of you guys dragging that football team, and that's why you won the football game. Were the decisions and the execution and the most crucial of times.
During that week, Polo sit in contact with me, and I come down to a practice or two and watched him. Jeff and Polo, not just Polo. You're only as good as your assistants, is what I think. They had the team ready to play. They had them ready. They had to prove they was going to win, but mentally they won that game.
Well, yeah, and I saw it too. Our baseball guys would go work out, and we would be down there watching them do their individual drills. And I mean, you go to defensive backs, Coach Brian Lee with the interior lineman, offensive and defensive line, and you saw us at the beginning of the year. Weak point, it's point of attack.
Right.
Middle, into the year, we started dominating people up front.
Uh-huh.
Because those kids stuck with it, they got coached up, and you know what? That become a strength of your all's. The season that Kevin Keaton had was really special too for the sophomore on offense, Alex Lee on defense, and then you had the Flemings too. But you got to give a lot of credit to that offensive and defensive line, because in some of the biggest moments of that West Carter game and in the games that we were in, those were the guys that got it done for you.
Oh yeah, they made huge plays. And I always, of course, Alex Lee was like my coach on the field, so to speak. And I would, and of course, on defense, everything was numbers on defense, and then he would call it and so on and so forth. And Alex Lee, he's confident enough in his abilities and in himself that he would shake me off every now and then. Oh yeah. And he would shake me off, and he would give me a sign back, and I'd be like, okay, all right. And I'd walk down by his dad, Coach Brownlee, and I'm like, I'll tell you one thing, this better freaking work.
Jim,
and 9 out of 10 times it would.
Yeah.
The best I can remember during that game, I get games mixed up sometimes. During that 10.5-minute drive, there was quite a few fourth down and longs
fourth downs.
That's what I know. I didn't know how many, but there was a lot of them. We're looking at 4 and 10, 4 and 15, 4 and 16. You know, and you came through with that.
There was a bunch of fourth downs on
Yeah.
the play. And matter of fact, we went for it on fourth down once. And of course, like I said, but you know, look, high school football, college football, pro football, it's three totally separate beasts when it comes to game plan, game strategy. I mean, it just is, okay? But in high school football, you know, if you're 50-yard line and it's fourth or whatever, you're probably going to go for it more so than not.
Absolutely.
Right.
Unless you just got a great punter that can stick somebody back there in the, you know, the 5 or the, you know, 3 or whatever yard line. So you're going to go for it most of the time because, and once again though, on defense, there's not much difference in a 50-yard drive versus a 65-yard drive.
Right.
In high school football. There's not. So you tend to go for it a little bit more on fourth down. And you know, I mean, and if you go back to that game, and if you start watching that game, let's just say you start watching the fourth quarter,
Right.
okay, at the very beginning of the fourth quarter, and you go through that, there was probably a couple times that, okay, maybe we should punt here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, you know, okay, if we give them the ball back,
You
Right.
don't know if you can stop.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
well, you don't know if you can stop them or not.
Right.
So your best defense, honestly, is to keep the offense on the field
Yeah.
and keep that drive alive. And that's what Polo said. He said, I'm not giving him a chance.
Oh, yeah.
He said,
I wish I could have come and kicked for you all, and let me come down and slip in, kick your extra points,
Absolutely.
and let me punt a little bit. So
Jeff, didn't you give up the ball the last 2 minutes of that drive, though?
I'm sorry, please.
Didn't, and that was good.
we scored, took the lead, but
Yeah.
they did have a chance.
Exactly.
And we had an interception, I believe. Was that
Yeah,
right?
we had an interception.
They had the ball the last couple of minutes, I think, and was driving hard.
Yes, well,
And pulling an interception.
they, of course, now, you know, and I love Wes Carter's quarterback. I really, truly do.
Oh, he's awesome.
And he's, I coached him in baseball. Hayden Hall.
Oh,
And Hayden Hall, he really is. And we felt like, though, that if we could let him throw it enough, I know it sounds crazy, that he was going to put one in harm's way eventually. I mean, we just felt that way. You know, just as a coaching staff, we thought, you know what? He's going to put one up and we're going to get it.
Oh, yeah.
Just so happens,
Yeah.
we got to that one in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth
Yeah.
quarter. And of course, they had their 3 timeouts left. So we intercept it. They hold us. We have to punt. So yeah, it come right down to
it
the
did.
very,
Right down to the wire.
very, very, very end.
You know, it was a good win because their head football coach, Daniel Barker, has done such a tremendous job with that program. You know,
Oh,
this,
yeah.
this team a few years back was one win away from, you know, going to state championship.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, against Beechwood. And to see both of the Carter County schools, East and West, and see their football programs be as good as they've been, both in that county. I think Coach Chaplin and Coach Barker have just done tremendous jobs with both of those programs. So when you beat them, you beat a really good, well-coached football team.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
that's something just really, you think it's kind of rare here in Morgan County that we've been able to do that and sustain that in over the years. You know, they're few and far between, so that's why we kind of lament the fact.
You know, if
that
I ever
overall-
retire, which I may or may not, but I would like to go watch an East-West game.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, yeah, East-West football game. You know that's rough and tough, man.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Like I said, 2 good coaches, good programs. It's a great win for us. Jeff, as a coach, one of the things that people love about you is you're one of the funniest people in the world to be around. You're a player's coach. The students love you at the high school. All the players love you that played for you. You've had some of the funniest moments in the world for just fans to watch you coach. What can you recall as some of the funniest and true moments that you've experienced? The
Well,
basketball one where somebody hit somebody in the head? Is that one?
yeah, we was talking about that before. And we was playing, I was coaching the girls, we was playing at Jackson City. And
True story, right?
True story, 100% true story. You can't make this up. And if you remember, you know, Jackson City's on his bleachers on one side, and Jackson City's band always sit down in the corner of the gym. And my point guard, he'd come down and thrown the ball away 2 or 3 times, not pretty passes either, by the way. So I think I'd call timeout, and we were sitting there in the huddle, and I said, hey, listen, here's what I want you to do. I said, next time down, I said, I want you to throw the ball, and I said, I want you to hit the trumpet player right square in the forehead with it. Because the band was sitting on the floor.
Yeah, I know what it
Right.
said. Yeah.
They said, okay.
So you told your player to hit the trumpet player in the head with the ball.
I said, I want you to throw it and hit that trumpet player right in the forehead with it.
What was you being serious?
Yes, he was.
Was you being serious?
I was being very sarcastic. Well,
I mean, you're trying to cause harm to some trumpet.
well,
They shouldn't be in the band.
she comes down, and she don't hit the trumpet player in the forehead. She hits the drummer in the forehead with the basketball.
Oh, man.
True story, I swear. Oh my God.
So now the parents of Jackson City schools are like, so that happened? That was intentional? I think I'm going to sue Coach Brown.
There you go.
Well, like I said, I was being sarcastic,
And she really nailed the drummer.
I swear, she hit the drummer right in the forehead with the ball. I swear she did.
Gosh almighty, Jeff.
I
What's some other good moments you want to share?
let's see. Me destroying the trash can at Raceland, maybe.
How do you destroy a big trash can?
They sent me a bill for it too.
No way.
Yes, they did.
Bill Farley?
I swear they did. When I was in Menifee County, they sent me a bill for it. I didn't pay for it.
That's funny.
True story. We was playing the All-A, and it was a tie game, and we had the ball. And their point guard, who was their best player, I mean, she was good too. She was really, really good. This has been some years ago. Their point guard was the best player, and she fouled out. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, look here. If at worst we go into overtime without their point guard, we got a shot.
Yeah.
Okay. But we got the last second shot. So I said, we called a play, and I said, about 15 seconds, I said, call timeout. So call timeout. We're gonna run the same play. So now listen, do not, under any circumstances, I said, go for the rebound. I told my team, I said, don't go for the rebound. I know it sounds crazy to say, but if you think, okay, I've got them in overtime. Right. So I'll never forget, we run a play to perfection. Ashley Mullen shot a little 15-footer, missed it. Ball hits, boom, boom. It goes, like backboard rim, falls off the front, and my center goes in, jumps.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
I've seen this before.
Yeah, and goes up. Dude comes from beside me, makes the call, calls over the back. Terrible call. 100% the worst call I've ever been a part of in my life. And so, score's still tied, but they go to the free throw line. Yeah. In the Class A now. Class A.
Oh, yeah.
Class A semifinals. So, girl goes up, and there's like point whatever, 3 seconds or whatever, so, there's no chance.
Right.
She goes up, but makes it, and then I lost my mind.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, like, lost my ever-loving mind. Tore the trash can all to pieces.
Acted a fool.
Acted like a 28-year-old fool. That's exactly what I was. I was 28-year-old at the time.
Didn't know any better.
Didn't know any better. I know. They teed me up, by the way.
Hey, when you played ball at Wolf County basketball, correct? Did you play for Robert Scott's daddy, Bobby?
I played for Mr. Bob Creech.
Yeah.
I love Bob Creech more than anything. I swear.
No, he was a great man.
He was a great man. He was a great man.
Yeah.
He really was.
I thought you played for Bobby.
So really, if you think about it, Wolf County's only had 2 basketball coaches.
Yeah, that's it.
Robert Scott
Yeah.
and his
Son.
dad, Bob.
Daddy
Have been
and son.
they've been the coaches there since when?
Oh, man. They built a school.
80,
Early 80s.
84, I think.
Is that right?
I think so.
Who coached before Bob Creech at Wolf? Tip of your tongue.
I can't remember.
Coach at Johnson Central, big tall. Oh my God.
Butcher?
Al Holland.
Al Holland.
Al Holland. I think.
No.
Not Al Holland, but
I thought Steve Butcher he was from Johnson Central, and he was a superintendent.
Yeah.
at Wolf.
Yes, he was.
God, not Al Holland.
It wasn't Al Holland. He
No,
was Perry Central Hazard.
I know. I
I need
know.
some of our Wolf County people that's on there to comment. Who coached
Yeah.
before Bob Creech?
I played golf with him at Eagle
Alvin
Trail.
Ratliff?
Yes, Alvin Ratliff.
Really?
Alvin Ratliff was there.
I did not know Alvin Ratliff coached Wolf County.
Yes, matter of fact, my cousin Junior
Yeah.
Stamper, he played for Alvin Ratliff. Him, Hoskins Carroll, and all that
Okay.
bunch. They played for him at Wolf County. I remember.
I did not know that.
Yes, absolutely.
About Alvin. Well,
But I'm not for sure if Alvin was before Bob. I don't know if there's anybody in between or not.
I don't either. Of course, he was from Johnson County. It was a Flat Gap, Oil Springs, Meade Memorial, one of those schools up there where Alvin Ratliff played. What a great legend he was.
Absolutely. And still plays golf every day up Eagle Trace.
Yes, he lives out there.
Oh, yeah, he
I
lives
see him
out
out
there,
there
yeah.
all the time. Well, speaking of golf trips, it's a great segue
Oh, Lord.
into talking about this annual, relationships, Rick, are built in coaching and sports.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also a competitive spirit in Jeff Brown.
Oh,
And that
definitely. Yeah.
competitive spirit is on the golf course with people like Dr. Hamilton, Keith Henry, Brandon Ferguson.
Yep.
I just want to know one thing about this golf trip.
All right, let's hear it.
Is Keith Henry the sorest loser out of the bunch?
Oh, yes, absolutely, 100%.
Like he loses his mind if he loses, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hope, by the way, I hope Keith is watching right now, because I made mention the other night when on the snow and everything.
Yeah.
They come, and everybody was asking what I was doing. I said I'm out hunting for golf balls, and it's snowing, like crazy.
Right.
But yeah, we always give Keith a hard time about hunting for golf balls. But yeah,
He's tight. He wants to keep those.
Oh,
balls.
absolutely, especially as a Pro V1.
Yeah.
But yeah, Keith might be the sorest loser of any golfer I've ever played with in my life, even though he might be the one that I love the most out of any golfer I've ever played with in my
He
life.
takes care of you boys.
He does. He fixes us breakfast every morning.
And you know how that trip started? It started with the founding fathers, my dad, Alvis Trusty, C.K. Stacy, Henry Williams, like all those guys, Johnny Johnson, P.D. Motley, then it went down to Jerry Hopkins, like the legends of West Liberty golf lore. We started going to Mountain City, Tennessee back in the 80s. And I remember I wasn't allowed to go on this golf trip until I was 30-some years old.
Wow.
Like everybody
You had
else
to
was
earn
allowed
your
to
way.
go,
You had to earn your
but I
way.
wasn't old enough and big enough yet. And I can remember taking you, Jeff, on that golf trip for the first time, and my goodness, what a great brotherhood I know that is for you guys. You guys love that better than anything, that once a year trip, and the companionship that you guys have is pretty special.
It's the best 3 or 4. Well, 4. It's the best 4 days of the year.
You can't wait to go, but then probably you're ready to come back home and you're ready to kill each other by the end of it, right?
Absolutely. But on Sunday, you're like, okay, I've had enough of this. I want to go back to the house.
Oh man, that's good stuff. So do you have, well, I'm gonna say many stories to tell, but out of that group, before we go on to the last subject here, before we leave, who is the best golfer out of that group? Number one.
The number one
Gotta put him on
golfer.
the spot here.
And I really, it honestly, it hurts my heart to even say it. But Wolf County boy.
Chad Rudd.
Chad Rudd.
Chad Rudd, number one golfer in the area.
Yeah.
Chad
He's pretty good.
Rudd. I tell you.
Yeah.
You know what? You talk about a good show if I had Chad Rudd on here telling stories.
Oh, yeah.
Because not only can he play golf, he throws darts pretty well too. Great educator, great principal.
Absolutely.
He's a person that I wish I spent more time around because he's the life of the party. He's always so fun, energetic,
Absolutely.
hilarious. You've got a great group of people
Oh, it's great.
that go on that trip with you. And I know sometimes I will text them like, all right, how many times has Keith said a bad word?
Yeah.
How many times has he cussed hole number 9?
Hole number 9.
Yeah, but what great stuff there. To follow up, Rick, and we'll both chime in. And you can ask me some questions too. But finishing up a career in education, right? As a teacher and a coach, how has the education changed so much? And what were your best moments as a teacher? Let's just talk about your best moments as a teacher that make you say when you retire that, you know what, this is why I did it more than anything.
Okay. Well, number one, it's changed a bunch.
A bunch.
Bunch. Huge. and I never was. I'm not big on social media.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm
No,
not.
you're pretty novice.
Yeah, very, very. And as a matter of fact, on
You
purpose.
just got Facebook.
Absolutely, I just got Facebook. Of course, but I will tell you this, and you can probably gather. I got a message from a student that I had in Menifee County. This sums it all up for you right here, to me. This has been, let's see, I guess I had him 18 years ago.
Wasn't the boiler room?
Huh?
Wasn't the boiler
No. We don't tell the boiler room stories.
That's for after hours.
That's for after hours. But Jason Whitaker, and he sent me a message. Hey, Coach Brown, or Mr. Brown, good to see you again, blah, blah, blah. And he said, and this is a true story. As a matter of fact, I could pull it up on my phone, but I'm going to summarize. He said, I wish that I would have paid more attention in class when you was talking about the Holocaust.
Wow.
About that.
He said, I remember it. He said, but I wish I had paid more attention because now he'd watch Schindler's List and he got,
Right.
you know, and he's in his 30s now,
Yeah.
right? He said, I wish I had paid more attention. He said, but you did teach me as much as I've ever known about the Holocaust. And I thought, huh,
Wow.
How about
wow.
that?
And that was
That's awesome.
15, 16, 17 years ago.
Yeah,
And I thought, huh, okay.
that's an impact
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
that you made on a kid.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. When
Absolutely.
You know, for me, you know, it may not be as a teacher too, Jeff. And when you're a teacher and a coach, a lot of the things that kids get from us is not the content that we necessarily teach them. It's not maybe the Holocaust or it's not the three branches of government. It's just the daggone connections that you have as an adult mentoring a student where you show that you care about them, love on them a little
Yeah,
bit,
oh, yeah.
and you show an interest in the things that they care about
Exactly.
to make those connections. I think as a teacher, you know, they say AI is going to replace everything, and I know it can. I mean, we're all replaceable, but there's more to be said about a teacher that can make a connection with a kid. And if a kid loves their teacher and they want to be there every day, then half the battle's already won
Oh, definitely.
by just being there.
Yeah.
A coach
Yeah.
and a teacher that cares about their kids means a lot.
You know, academically, you two, and you coach, Chris, you can both answer this academically and as a coach. You had that student, that player, that you see that potential. You can see it.
Oh, yeah.
You want to show it to them, but they never see it. That's heartbreaking, man.
Right.
Yeah, I can recall, you know.
You know, that's what Coach Herdman did. Is
Yeah.
Coach Herdman, I remember when he was like the principal and the coach there, when
Yeah.
he came back a couple of years, we had 56 football players one year.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't very good, but we had 56 football players dressed on Friday nights.
Oh, yeah.
And he made darn well sure that the kids that maybe were struggling a little bit, guess what? Those kids were never ineligible.
Yeah.
They were always eligible to play, and that helped those kids. They were in school,
Definitely.
they stayed in school, and they got their diploma because he invested in them and stuck his neck out on a limb for those kids. You know what? I don't care. We're going to play. You're going to be eligible.
I'm glad you brought that up. Question, Jeff. You know, your football team dressed, what, 25 to 32, something like that?
32, 33, something like that.
Somewhere before injury. I wonder why you don't bring the 8th graders up.
They can't.
Is
Can't
that
just say a
right?
rule.
That's
That's
why-
a contact sport.
I know. Just bring them up and let them sit on the sidelines in uniform. Is that allowed?
Yeah, that is allowed. You know, you can bring them up and just let them sit on the sidelines.
Right.
You know, but you know, sometimes that could be a
Distraction.
Distraction, a little bit.
And I figured if you could bring their head coach with them to keep them in line, would it be easier to recruit them kids on in as a freshman? You're not getting very many 8th graders up to the freshman year.
Well, you know,
Never did.
when of course, you know how Friday nights are and how
No, I do. I
and
understand.
how intense it is on the sidelines.
I know.
And you know, sometimes kids get bored
Of course, I
You know,
understand. Yeah.
So you try to keep that down to a minimum. But it just sometimes it's a distraction.
Yeah, I would think a little bit. That's why I say, if you had the head coach come up, you think it would kind of soften the blow, get an eighth grader to come on up as a freshman? Morgan County's always had that problem for some reason.
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of it is just middle school kids coming up. There's a fear there because but
I had that fear. We talked about that here.
Right.
The only reason I played football, I was scared to death of it. I played 8th grade. I'd go to high school games, and ain't for me. And so that was the 7th grade. So 8th grade, after football, I joined band. Give me an excuse not to play.
You didn't get hit in the head with a football, did you?
No, I just had the fear. And that
Jeff Brown was
aggravated,
coaching, probably been drilled.
that aggravated me so bad that I was afraid. I had to stand up and
Were you one of those kids in the 8th grade that you was bigger than everybody? Or
Yeah.
You were the biggest
Yeah.
kid in 8th grade, probably.
yeah, one of them, yeah.
I wasn't. I was, my gosh, when I was a freshman in high school, I was 5'2" and 100 pounds.
Wow.
I mean, I grew a little bit, yeah. My goodness, I'm so small. Jeff, what a fun night, man. This is a lot of fun.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Rick, this is a lot of fun.
Thank you,
A
buddy.
lot of great stories, and first of all, I want to thank Me Acapulco Restaurant. If you get a chance, call 606-743-1316. Get your order in. This is a wonderful place. Perfecto, you guys have been wonderful. The people out here giving us an opportunity to do this for 3 years each week. We've got a couple more shows to go. But also my sponsors, I would like to give those a shout out. And now that I've got Rick here,
There you go.
I'm going to let Rick, you're going to start with a couple of shouts to our sponsors.
Need help buying or selling their home? Be sure to call Vicki Belpy Opioid, a lifelong resident of Eastern Kentucky. She knows the market and is always available to take your calls or texts. She takes pride in making sure her clients are given the respect and attention needed to help them with one of life's most important decisions. Look her up on Facebook or call 606-477-0836. I seen a little award Vicki got.
Yeah, she's one of the top earning real estate people in the world or something, the top 100.
Yeah.
She's getting it done. You need something sold?
Oh, yeah.
Give Vicki a call.
Vicki went from education,
She was the principal at the high school.
wanted to do some kind of part-time, keep busy. And
She
then
was a former coach, tennis coach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Congratulations to Vicki.
What else you got? Oh, my turn. Bank of the Mountains, as the area's only family-owned bank, Bank of the Mountains is proud to be your local bank for more than 50 years. We reinvest local dollars to help the communities we serve grow stronger. Our commitment to putting you and the communities we serve first. Stop in our offices today or visit online at botm.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Banker's hours, right?
Bankers hours, we know what those are on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
From opening your first savings account to purchasing your dream home, Commercial Bank is with you every step of the way, proudly serving our friends and neighbors in West Liberty for over 100 years. Commercial Bank, where friendliness prevails. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
West Liberty Veterinary Clinic has been serving the hills of East Kentucky since 1963. We are pleased to accept small animal walk-in appointments or call anytime to schedule small animal surgeries or appointments for large animals. We look forward to serving our community by helping your furry family members. 743-3776 or visit them on the web at westlibertyvetclinic.com. Nobody better than Doc Grassy Creek, Dr. David Fugit.
Oh, yeah.
And Jeff, do you know how to read?
Hey, get him that tough one, Murray.
Let's talk. Oh, let's see. You good? Hold on that.
It's been a while. UK St. Clair is proud to be expanding access to healthcare in northeastern Kentucky with new services like endocrinology.
He does me the same way, Jeff.
Yeah, Lord, plastic and reconstructive surgery, and orthopedic spine care. UK St. Clair is putting the community's health and well-being first. Advanced Medicine, Trusted Care with UK St. Clair.
That is fantastic.
You wanna
You
sing
don't know
happy
how to
birthday?
say endocrinology. Happy birthday! Yeah, we've got a happy birthday here. You can't see her. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You know, this is all set up just for you. This is a great live show.
It is.
Even though Jeff does not know how to pronounce endocrinology, we'll let him off the hook there. But our last sponsor, Ison Insurance Agency, John Ison. This guy gets it too, right?
Oh, yeah.
This guy can dance. He can do some different things. They've been in business in West Liberty for 50 years. They are an independent insurance agency, meaning they can quote your insurance with several companies, not just one. Whether it's cars, trucks, ATVs, RVs, or boats, to farms, homes, and all businesses in between. They even sell affordable life insurance, and all of their agents are licensed and local. They are very community-oriented and enjoy supporting the Cougars. A big shouts to all of our sponsors that make this possible. Mi Acapulco Restaurant. This is the second time we've had a big birthday party.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
This has been a lot of fun.
That we can remember.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much. For Rick Barker, Jeff Brown, I'm Chris Trusty. Until next time, so long.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night. What's up?
Hold
What's
on a
up?
second.
Tomorrow night.
We've got some ball games.
Oh,
right?
do we ever?
Well, you going to be calling that?
I will be. I've got to go to the hospital tomorrow. Hopefully I get back in time.
Okay,
I'm
Morgan
gonna take my
County.
equipment with me.
At Elliott County tomorrow night. Yeah,
Yeah.
Morgan at Elliott, big district game. There's Eli Bradley, speaking of players,
There he
walking
is.
by here. And on Friday night, the Cougars will be back at home against West Carter. Let's hope the snow stays away at Elliott County tomorrow night at West Carter on Friday night. Big shouts to our girls team.
Yeah, definitely.
Big win
Yeah.
last night
Big
over the
win.
Menifee County Wildcats at Menifee County. Huge win. They were the 16th region All-A champions. We had Derek and them on. The last time they won, this guy coached the Morgan County Lady Cougars in 2014. A little impromptu there. So some good stuff right there.
And let's see, Coach Griffin is going for his 4th district title. Is that correct?
That would be. If he were to win
Yeah.
this year, that would be
Yeah.
the first time in school history that they've
Yeah.
won one corner row.
Exactly.
It's going to be a tough task, but like I said, thank you, Rick. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Jeff. Thank you, Mi Acapulco Restaurant. And like I said, until next time, we'll see you all later.
Fun, absolutely had fun. You have put me on air, so we can just get out and out for me.
Yeah, you can go back and hear that. Happy birthday.
It is what it is, man.
Dude, already.
About 35 minutes in.
You're very welcome. Happy birthday.